Studies in the U.S. are saying Gen Zs have become the top concert spenders across all generations. Now we find out, is the case the same for Filipino concert goers? And what could be the reason why a big part of the youth seem to have turned to live music to feel a bit more alive? Now we speak with Rhiza Pascua, Managing Director of the leading live entertainment company, Live Nation. It's a beautiful day, Miss Rhiza.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Paolo, Anne, and Monique.
Nice to have you. And finally, something I can talk about, because this is based on studies in the US. I totally agree with this, because myself and my sister were big concert goers, so we will go to Europe or anywhere in Asia just to see our concert we want to go to, or any of the other states, right?
Right.
So is that the same for Filipinos?
Oh, yes. Recently, when Taylor Swift did her tour in Asia, there were around 7,000 Filipinos who flew out of the Philippines to watch Taylor Swift all over the world.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
I was trying to
7,000
be
is a
a
big
part
chunk.
of that 7,000, but I could not get tickets anywhere.
Yeah, it was so hard to get
So
tickets
hard.
talaga.
Well, yeah, with Singapore being the only stop in Southeast Asia for Taylor, it felt
Singapore
like
and Japan.
In Japan,
Japan.
in Southeast Asia, the region, and of course Japan as well. It just felt like it was such a premium ticket and still accessible here for Filipinos. But when we talk about that type of spending habit that we're seeing right now from the Gen Zs, do you feel that has impacted even the way that we do it here locally, how we promote the international artists who do come here to the Philippines?
Millennials and Gen Zs have a lot of similarities. The millennials have been spending that way, especially on concerts, food and travel, anything and everything Instagrammable. When millennials were during their days, Instagram was fairly new.
Yeah.
So they would post everything. Now the Gen Zs or the Zoomers are very, very used to it. I'd say. So yeah, they're very, very much willing to spend on concerts.
And
very
I don't
much
think
willing to travel.
It's not just concerts. They make it like a whole vacation, right? Where them and their friends, they go pick the country, and they do like a whole sightseeing thing, and then attend the concert.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead. Anne.
And it's like the reason why they also choose to watch in different countries is because it's cheaper than watching here in the Philippines. But you know, one of the top reasons for the boom in live concerts in recent years is that fear of missing out. They just want to be part of it. You know what?
How do the young people call it?
FOMO.
FOMO.
I was waiting for her to say FOMO, but she didn't.
So what other factors do you think are at play here?
I think I don't know why FOMO was number one on the list, but I think they just love to watch live entertainment, especially if it's their favorite artist. Right. I mean, if you see the queuing on people who buy tickets, it goes up to 800,000 people. So, yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, would you say COVID, the lockdown, played a big part in this as well? Why after the pandemic, people are starting to do like revenge spending, and maybe this is their way of doing it as well?
The first 2 years, yes. But now people have been more picky.
Yeah.
People are now being wise about spending. But the latter part of 2022 to the whole 2023, people were just spending, going to all the concerts. Every week there were concerts. So, yeah, it was crazy.
You know, I want to go back to how this all started out for you. Because if I'm not mistaken, you want to be part of the U.S. Secret Service growing up, based on a few articles I've read. But at the same time, you actually started out, I believe the first person you brought to the Philippines might have been James Ingram. Yeah, James Ingram, and then you
love
followed that
James
up with
Ingram.
David Pomeranz and Stephen Bishop.
Yeah.
There are generations of Filipinos who are thanking you to this day. In fact, I believe that they may have found homes here in the Philippines already
Yeah.
because of the fandom created by those visits and all of that. What interested me was you started out working on instinct instead of data analytics. If I'm just looking at the way that you conducted business and the way that you were working, how has the game changed in terms of the promotion, in terms of the marketing, and of course bringing in the right talent for the Filipino audience? Because let's be fair, not all talents, not all acts are as impactful in the Philippines as they are in certain areas in the world.
Yeah. So a good friend of mine, a person who I went to school with, was into data analytics, and he was showing me how the program that he created worked for a different field.
Yeah.
So I said, I think I can use that for my business, so I know which one will work for our territory, which is the Philippines. So we tried it. We knew where it worked, how it worked, the demographics, everything that we wanted to know, as far as how many tickets we think we can sell.
Yeah.
So since then, we've been doing data analytics. So yeah, it worked well.
It feels a bit like Moneyball in the sense that you have numbers helping dictate decisions. And where
Yes.
there's some artists that you weren't sure of, but then the number said otherwise, and
Oh,
all of a
yes.
sudden the numbers were right.
Yes, a lot of them we didn't even know.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them we didn't even know. So we would just punch in. It was just easy, and we knew we had a certain edge because we were the only ones who had that.
Yeah.
So we knew this specific artist that everyone was rejecting would work for our territory.
Okay.
So, yes.
I'm so curious to find out who those guys
Yeah,
are.
could you give us some examples? Maybe just a couple.
Like instinctually, parang hindi to gagana, pero the numbers showed otherwise. No, it's all right. So we can move on. We can move on from that. But you take a look at right now. I think if you go to concerts, I think one of the things that is prevalent is the fact that you go to a concert, the phones are up, the videos are up about the concerts.
Well, it could be a good and bad thing because there's been a few influencers that have been called out, right? It's kind of rude that they have their flashes on while they're videoing themselves singing.
It's not just
while
that; they're also
watching the concert.
uploading, big chunks of the
Yeah.
concert, and you're supposed to pay for that to be able
Right.
to watch that, and then you can see all these really long reels, 1 minute and 30 seconds. I think that's the maximum that you
Sometimes
can
even
post.
longer.
Sometimes even longer.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
may live eh.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. That's rude. Now, for me, that's rude.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Did this affect,
Maybe ticket sales
yeah.
moving forward after that?
Not really,
Yeah.
because live experience is still different.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
The energy is different. It motivates the artists. It motivates the audience. So it's a different community that you're in. So it's still different. I would still go. I would still go to a concert. Really.
Now, I want to ask you about K-pop, because K-pop's still taking the Philippines by storm. So how did the K-pop wave affect the live entertainment industry?
The impact was unbelievable. So working with K-pop is different. The production is huge. The fans are different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're always excited to work with K-pop,
Yeah, I've been to a few K-pop concerts.
which were
17, Mamamoo, when they were here in the Philippines, and just being around that crowd, it's complete. I understand what you're saying. It's completely different. I've seen Western acts from smaller venues, and I've also seen the bigger ones. And you're absolutely right. It feels like the culture is different in terms of the fandom in
Very much.
itself,
Yeah. Very
right?
much.
And then of course when including like they're allowing the tickets for sound checks. They're allowing tickets for in almost separate ways, and the different types of access, send-offs as well. Yeah, I mean, when you take a look at that type of culture coming up, and the fact that Philippine pop is also becoming its own thing, P-pop's becoming its own thing. Do you feel that K-pop has influenced Filipino concert goers in general and how we consume live music, live acts, even beyond K-pop?
Definitely. It's now a lot of people are doing sound checks.
Yeah.
And send-offs. I don't know if you've experienced a send-off.
I haven't experienced
Where
My
that.
friends have, not me.
Okay. So you just stand there, and they walk by you waving.
Yeah.
And people actually pay extra for that.
Yeah, they do. They
Yeah.
do.
Because like you said, K-pop fans are different.
It's different,
Yeah.
yeah. And they really spend money
Yeah,
just
they
to
do.
see their
It's a
favorite
different kind of
artists.
love.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah.
K-pop, like just K-entertainment in general. If
Yeah,
their favorite
yeah.
actor or actresses come, and just for them to speak or say hi, right? They pay a lot.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like there are also events like even not necessarily K-pop artists, even K-drama artists come here
Yeah.
who
Oh,
with almost
yeah.
concert-like environments. But of course, when we talk about all of that, we also have to talk about the pricing sometimes. That comes not just with K-pop, but with everything else. We talk about here in the Philippines that how we're affected by inflation, how we're affected by all of these other factors. When you take a look at the pricing scheme in the Philippines, some people do complain that
Oh yeah.
those overseas concerts compared to the Philippines are just so
Are
much
cheaper.
cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the factors that come into it? I know there
Okay.
could be a lot of inside baseball, but then what are the factors that play into it?
First of all, the production is huge. The big chunk really goes to production, and the talent fees. The talent fees are big because I think it's safe to assume that they meaning the artists, they know that they're big here. So they tend to charge a little more
Oh, okay.
in Manila. We also have legitimate producers like us. We pay a lot of taxes.
Okay. Yeah.
There are different kinds of taxes that we pay. Amusement taxes,
Yeah.
income tax. Yeah. So it's different from Singapore, where they have a bigger venue,
Yes.
a 70,000 capacity venue, which would automatically mean that the tickets would be cheaper,
Yeah.
and tourism would help them subsidize their expenses.
Yes.
Now, apart from, I know, like the huge increase in ticket prices, another issue here that we face in the Philippines are scalpers.
Yes.
Actually,
'Cause
all
it's
over the world, but
all
yes.
over the world, but I think it's more prevalent here.
Yeah.
In the Philippines.
Yeah, and I know the Senate just filed Senate Bill 2873, or the Anti-Scalping Act.
Yes.
How do you think that will affect watching concerts and getting tickets moving forward? Do you think less scalpers are going to be there? Because I'm praying.
I hope so, because I was fortunate enough to be invited as a resource speaker. So I was more than thankful that I was there, and I was able to explain to them what we promoters go through. It's not the scalpers really. There are two kinds of problems that we face. So there are scalpers and there are scammers, and people don't know the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
The scammers are people who sell tickets that are actually not existing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the the scammers, they show you a photo of the ticket, and then you send them the money, and then you never hear from them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the scalpers send you a photo of the ticket, you pay for it for a huge profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, there are more scammers than scalpers.
Oh, okay. And that hopefully that does get addressed. I'm not sure how, to be quite honest, especially considering how big it is. But we're running out of time, but I want to end on a positive note here. Because when you talk about Philippine concert goers and you talk about the artists, whenever they react to Filipinos, it's always like, wow, they have a choir. I mean,
we
like
can
when you
sing.
see when you see that type of reaction, first of all, is it just us being an echo chamber that the artists say the Filipinos sing different, that they are different, that occurs in the action, or is that a genuine thing?
That is very genuine. I don't know if you've experienced watching elsewhere, but Filipino fans are more passionate. They sing from the beginning of the concert till the end.
Yes.
So everyone's just standing, having fun. They just give the artists a lot of energy. So they love coming back. Maroon 5 loves to come back every other year.
Yeah, they're always here.
Yeah, a lot of people want to do that. Lainey's always here.
Yes.
A lot of artists love the Philippines. So, yeah.
I hope we get more artists soon. And moving forward, let us know, Miss Rhiza, if there are more
course.
concerts that we can attend. And now has a point of contact for manifestation.
I know you guys are bringing J-Hope, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
Yeah,
there.
yes, we are.
It's so hard to get tickets to J-Hope.
Yeah.
Nagpaparinig po siya.
Opo, yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on this morning. We
It was
really
my
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thank
It was
you,
my
Miss Rhiza.
pleasure.
That was Miss Rhiza Pascua, Managing Director of Live Nation.